come on then, tell me, what is going on at Rangers? Wherever the signings, realistically, I think what we all wanted was, with us being out in La Manga at this moment in time, out of that training camp, that there would be some signings coming in, because this is the perfect time to bed those signings in. Of course it is, what time for the team to bond, time for the team to work together. At this moment in time, it seems the club are just only too happy to deny every single rumour and every single link that we have. Guys, welcome along to Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is your channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. But look, let's get back to that issue. Look, to me, it just seems at this moment in time that every link we have, the Michy Batshuayi link, the Josh Doig link, all those links just seem to be denied. It seems like the board are kind of taking a pleasure almost in denying every single link that we've got. Now, I know it is only the 12th of January. I know that the month is far from over yet, but look, we're away in La Manga now. The friendly against Hertha Berlin is fast approaching. Then obviously the 16th, we're back in Glasgow to take on FC Copenhagen. It is, a chance to obviously bed any new signings in. And look, the later you leave it in the month, the less chance you've got to bed these signings in, the less chance you've got to bring these signings into the fold. And this is the perfect time to do it because, there's a dedicated time to really work with the squad, to bond the squad together, to embed your ideas, to bring that mindset together. And we've got a little bit of obviously what Dujon Sterling has been saying about that. But look, at the end of the day, it is for me quite concerning, quite worrying that we haven't brought anyone in yet. Yes, Fabio Silva arrived on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers, but as yet, no permanent signings, no permanent deals. You've got to kind of ask, where are we up to, Niels? Where are we at with these signings? What is the situation as it stands at the moment? What are you and Big Phil working on? What is the desire? Where is the plan here? We need signings, and it seems to me that there's more players seemingly heading out of the door than coming in through those doors. Obviously, rumours of Ridvan Yilmaz heading off to Hellas Verona. Rumours of Borna Barisic heading back to his homeland, although there is currently rumours in the press as regards Borna going to Roma. That is another one that has been doing the rounds of joining Jose Mourinho in Rome at AS Roma. So what is the plan, guys? Where are we up to with this? There seems to be more questions than answers at this moment in time. Rangers need a striker. Fabio Silva is not an out-and-out striker. He's a 10. He's a wing forward. He's a wide man. He's certainly not a out-and-out number 9. That is a position that still has not been filled, and we took obviously great pleasure in saying that Michy Batshuayi was not the man. Look, I understand that. Looking at what Michy Batshuayi was asking in terms of salary, what he was asking in terms of, everything out in terms of his commitment to the club. The question of his professionalism was also questioned as well. Batshuayi is a player who's had 6 clubs in 7 years. Maybe there is some truth in the fact that he lacks a bit of professionalism, lacks a bit of commitment to the cause. He was turned down, of course. Where are we up to with strikers? We do need a striker on a permanent contract. Obviously, as a fan base, we all want Lawrence, well, not all of us, but the vast majority, it seems, of Rangers fans want Lawrence Shankland. But is there any truth in that? Does the club want Shankland? Where are we up to with that? Look, there seems to be more questions than answers at this moment in time. And I understand that, of course, the club are going to play their cards very close to their chest. They're not going to come out and talk about players who are under contract elsewhere. That's unprofessional. But given the fact we are currently in La Manga, it just seems like a real wasted opportunity to bring in new players and embed those new players within the squad and bond those players together as a team, as a squad. Now, one of the latest links is regarding another Ecuadorian international, Oscar Zambrano, a man described as the next Moises Caicedo. For those of you who don't know who Moises Caicedo is, he's the guy who joined Chelsea for a record fee, a massive, I think it was 100-something million pounds from Brighton, a real quality player. This guy, Oscar Zambrano, is described as the next Moises Caicedo. What do we know about him? Well, a little bit of his background in terms of his career. He plays in Ecuador for Quito. That's where he's, that's where he's at. That's where he's from. Yet to experience any football in Europe, but certainly very highly thought of and highly rated. Why do we know that? Well, according to a lot of the rumours heading around at this moment in time, both Manchester United and AFC Bournemouth of the English Premier League are interested in securing the services of Oscar Zambrano, the next, like I said, Moises Caicedo. He would be a signing, certainly, that would be a statement signing, someone who very much fits that player trading model, someone who very much fits into that type of player, someone who, hopefully with development could in 2 to 3 years really, come on and be worth a substantial amount of cash, given the fact that English Premier League clubs are already showing a serious interest in the boy. He's made over 40 appearances for his club, with 1 goal, 1 assist. He is a destroyer more than a creative player. He's a central midfield player. He is only 19 years old. He just short of 6 foot, worth, according to Transfer Market, just shy of €3 million. It's about £2.8 million. He's played at Ecuador under 20 level, and he's certainly, getting a lot of interest from around Europe. Like I said, clubs like Manchester United, Bournemouth, etc., are all interested in the services of Oscar Zambrano. He has obviously been linked with a move to Rangers. Now, let's have a little bit of a more in-depth look at him. So it's 48 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Majority of his football has been played in Ecuador in the Serie A Segunda Etapa and in the Primera Etapa. He's played, obviously, as well for Ecuador under 20s, 14 caps for them. He's very much an up-and-coming young player. Like I said, a defensive midfielder primarily. He can also play central midfield, a destroyer, a real kind of Caicedo type player. Could he be, someone who could add to this squad? Someone who could come in and, play alongside a Nicholas Raskin, for example. There's been a lot of talk, obviously, about Raskin and the role that he can play under Philippe Clement, but Zambrano is certainly a very highly regarded player. And like I said, it is attracting interest from English Premier League clubs, as well as obviously Bundesliga clubs and Italian Serie A clubs. Now, the worry has got to be that, obviously, that Bournemouth and Manchester United and other English Premier League clubs can obviously afford to pay an awful lot more for his services than Rangers can, because of the fact they have that TV deal that is substantial, as opposed to the complete joke of a TV deal we have here north of the border. Now, Zambrano would really add to this team. He is, like I said, a future talent, certainly someone who fits the player trading model that Niels Koppen has been brought in to sort of institute at the club. Zambrano would obviously as well join up with his Ecuadorian teammate, Jose Cifuentes. Obviously haven't played at full national level yet together, but obviously from the same nation. Like I said, a quality player. Someone, like I said, who, if he's attracting English Premier League interest and from clubs like Manchester United, obviously that shows the talent this boy has. He would be a quality addition if we could secure him. Now, whether there's any truth in the rumour or the report, I don't know. Look, like I said, the club seems to be taking so much pleasure in denying every report, every rumour that is currently on the go. And it worries me. It really does, that we're going to come out of this window with just Fabio Silva and more players departing than arriving. Like I brought the video out to you yesterday as regards where is Kieran Dowell, talk of him joining the English Championship club and shopping around for that Championship club. So where are we up to with that? It is worrying. I am worried. I'm not worried, but slightly concerned about our lack of action in the transfer market. And I keep using this meme, but I think it's ever more applicable as we go through. Come on, do something, Rangers. Sign someone. It's especially important, like I said, that we are out in La Manga at this moment in time. Why are we not moving for someone? Why are we not attempting to sign someone? The players are out there, they're training. And it's encouraging that we've seen, Jack training, we've seen Raskin training, we've seen Cifuentes training, we've seen Tom Lawrence training. It seems that a lot of those players who were out injured are getting back towards playing, which is fantastic news. It's exactly what we need to see. Now, one player who has been speaking to the media is Dujon Sterling. Now, Dujon, who was signed as a right back, as a full back, has really impressed for me in that central midfield role. he's looked quality. He's looked almost Claude Makalele-esque in the way he's been applying himself. And this is what he was interviewed by Rangers TV, and this is what he had to say. He said, "It has been tough. The gaffer has been putting us through the work. It is to build us for the rest of the season, and hopefully we can have an enjoyable end to the season." That's certainly something we're all hoping, that Rangers can go on and challenge for the Scottish League title and the Scottish Cup, and hopefully, obviously, take a treble and have a deep run in Europe. Dujon went on to say, "For me personally, I want to use this week to get fitter so that I can last 90 minutes in every 3 days and become stronger. I just want to build and become more robust so that I can help the team from the start. It's been a bit stop-start for me at the start of the season. I had a calf injury and then a problem with my eye. I needed to get that sorted before I could start playing. So I was out of training for a month. But since the start of December, it has been great." Now, Dujon talks well then. He talks about the fact that he wants to build his fitness. He wants to be able to play 3 games a week, which is certainly something, the club of, given the fact, obviously, going into the second half of this year, we will be in Europe. The Scottish Cup is upcoming. There will be times when we are playing 3 times a week. And we certainly need someone like Dujon Sterling to have that fitness to get through those 3 games. Dujon has been utterly phenomenal. Dujon has been brilliant, in my opinion. He fights, he battles, he's got skill, he distributes the ball well. He certainly is a very, very, very high quality player. He talked as well about moving to that new midfield role. He said, "I was excited, to be honest. Going into every game, I was just happy to be playing and having the manager's trust. For me, it was about learning as I go every game, and I'm learning how to play the role, how to improve on playing that role. Hopefully, I've been playing well, and he can still trust me in there." And I think Dujon has been absolutely outstanding in that defensive midfield role. Pirouette, the superb turn, the Cruyff turn against Kilmarnock, the good performance against Celtic, the excellent performance as a cameo against Betis, the great performance in the cup final against Aberdeen. He certainly seems to be stepping up there and really learning that role. And it's what Philippe Clement wanted. He talked about wanting hybrid players who can play in multiple positions. And that's certainly something that Dujon can provide. He said, when you're playing on the wings, you know that the line is there and you've only got to really look inside. Whereas in midfield, you have to have 360 scans. So it's just learning. I've been watching Lunny mostly because he was one who has been fit, all of our midfielders. And then I've just been going on YouTube and searching up clips of midfielders from the past and what they did, how they played, who is like me, and trying to implement some of their stuff. It's encouraging to see that Dujon is very much learning. He wants to learn. He wants to develop. He wants to get better. He really is showing himself up to be a quality player. And he's right. It is a 360 scan job playing in midfield. When you're playing out wide, it's down the line. It's slightly inside. It's certainly not that 360 field of vision. And that's certainly something that Dujon has had to develop. I've been really impressed with Dujon. He has played absolutely superb since moving to that role. He went on to say, for the squad, it's about trying to keep playing well. We have to keep trying to implement what the gaffer wants us to do and keep building on that. Although it is not really based on the results of these next 2 games, we still want to win and have a good performance with it as well. Obviously talking about the Hertha Berlin game and the FC Copenhagen game. Dujon has done really well, and I'm impressed with what he's got to say. There seems to be a real desire there, a real intention to improve this team, to move this team forward. Dujon is certainly, a vision of those young players, those players who, that we want to come in, to want to play in multiple positions, want to develop as players. Dujon has done exceptionally well, and it's encouraging to hear Dujon obviously talking like this. He will no doubt have a role to play in the next couple of games and in the second half of the season. Look, at the end of the day, guys, I want to see us sign players. I want to see us, see those players at Auchenhowie or at Ibrox with the shirts on, with the flags, scarves even above their heads, proclaiming that they are Rangers players. That's what we all want to see at the end of the day. And the sooner that happens, the better for me, because, you need time to bed players in, especially if these players are not coming from the SPL, especially if these players are coming from abroad. We know that Koppen has a wide scouting network, and he has a record of bringing in outstanding players. Noah Lang, Sabari, for example, to PSV Eindhoven. And it's certainly with the board's hope that they can repeat that. But it does seem to worry me at the moment that we seem to be in this cycle of, no, we're not interested. No, we don't want him. No, that's not happening. Now, one player who has obviously been attracting Rangers' interest is Hees Smile. Now, rumours in Holland, or reports, sorry, that's a better word, in Holland, are suggesting that FC Twente have offered him a new contract, a new improved contract, which is certainly worrying for Rangers, given the fact that, you know, that we have been linked with multiple left backs in this transfer window. He's Smal been one of those. Now, Ridvan and Borna are currently with the squad in La Manga, so we're not off seeking other clubs. It may be that we come out this window still with Ridvan and Borna, and then there is not as big a concern. But it has been reported, obviously, that Rangers want a centre forward and want a left back. The sooner we get something done, the sooner we get some business done, I think the better for the club. The longer we have to bed those players in, the longer we have to bring those players into that team fold. That, for me, is the best way forward. Well, guys, let me know what you think of the video. Please, obviously, drop me a comment and I'll try and reply to you. Obviously, please sub to the channel, help the channel to keep on growing. And on the way out, I always ask two things of you. I need two things from you guys. One is to smash the sub. And number two is to always remember, never forget, we are the people.